Most people treat LinkedIn like a digital resume, something to set up once, forget about, and dust. That is the exact reason most people have never made a single dollar from it. LinkedIn is not a job board. It is the only social platform on the internet where the majority of users are professionals with budgets, decision-making authority, and an active need for services. The average LinkedIn user earns significantly more than the average user on any other platform. The businesses listed on LinkedIn are actively looking for freelancers, consultants, and specialists every single day. And the competition for attention is a fraction of what it is on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. The opportunity is sitting in plain sight. The method for accessing it in 7 days or less is specific, repeatable, and requires 0 followers, 0 paid ads, and 0 prior LinkedIn activity. Day 1 starts with the profile, and the profile rewrite is the single most important step in the entire method, because it determines whether a decision maker who lands on the page stays or leaves in 3 seconds. Most LinkedIn profiles are written like a resume. They list job titles, past employers, responsibilities, and skills. A resume is written for a hiring manager filling a position. A client-attracting LinkedIn profile is written for a business owner with a problem they need solved. The difference is the direction of the framing. A resume says what was done in the past. A client-attracting profile says what gets solved right now. The headline is the highest visibility element on the profile. It appears in search results, in comment sections, and in connection requests. The default is a job title, freelance designer, or marketing consultant. That tells a visitor what the category is. It does not tell them why they should care. A headline written for client attraction describes the outcome delivered and the type of client served. I help e-commerce brands increase product page conversion rates through copy and design, tells a visitor in 1 line whether this profile is relevant to their problem. Freelance designer tells them nothing. The About section should open with the client's problem, not a personal biography. The first 2 lines are visible before the reader clicks See More. Those 2 lines must describe a recognizable pain point the target client experiences. Everything after that connects the problem to the solution and ends with a specific call to action, a link, an email address, or an invitation to send a message. Day 1 also requires identifying the niche. A LinkedIn outreach campaign without a defined niche produces low response rates because the message cannot be specific. The most effective niche definition answers 3 questions. What type of business is being targeted? What specific problem does the service solve for them? And what does success look like after the engagement? A copywriter targeting SaaS companies with low trial-to-paid conversion rates has a defined niche. A copywriter targeting businesses that need content does not. Day 2 is spent building the outreach list. LinkedIn's free search filters allow filtering by industry, company size, job title, and geography. The target is decision makers, founders, marketing directors, heads of content, or whoever at the target company type would approve or initiate the purchase of the service being offered. For a freelance video editor, targeting YouTube channels in the personal finance space, the search is channel owners and content directors at finance-focused media companies. For a web designer targeting local service businesses, the search is owners and marketing managers of businesses with under 50 employees in the target city. The list should contain between 30 and 50 targets for the first week. Each target gets a quick profile review before the message is sent. 2 minutes per profile is enough to identify one specific, observable detail about their business that can be referenced in the outreach message. Day 3 is the first outreach wave. LinkedIn connection requests allow a short note, 300 characters maximum. This note is not a sales pitch. It is a professional introduction with a single observation. The format is 1 sentence about why the profile is relevant to the specific person, 1 sentence that demonstrates awareness of something specific about their business, and a low commitment close. Noticed your agency recently expanded into video production. I specialize in post-production for exactly that type of content. Would be glad to connect. That is the entire message. No pitch, no portfolio link, no call to action beyond the connection itself. The connection request note gets 1 job done, It convinces the recipient that this is a real person with a real reason to connect, not a spam account. Everything else happens after the connection is accepted. Days 4 and 5 are for follow-up messages to accepted connections and publishing the first piece of content. When a connection is accepted, a follow-up message goes out within 24 hours. This message follows a 4-part structure. First, a specific observation about something visible on their LinkedIn profile or company page. A recent post, a product launch, a hiring announcement. Second, a connection between that observation and a business outcome. Third, a soft introduction of the service as a natural solution. Fourth, a single low-pressure question that invites a response without requiring a commitment. The follow-up message should be under 150 words. Long messages signal that the sender is more invested in making a sale than in solving a problem. Short, specific messages signal expertise and confidence. The content piece published on days 4 or 5 serves a different purpose than the outreach messages. LinkedIn's algorithm distributes content to second and third degree connections, people who are not yet connected. A single post that demonstrates expertise in the target niche reaches potential clients who never saw the profile and never received an outreach message. The post does not need to be long. A 200-word post that answers one specific question a target client commonly has, written in plain language with no jargon, consistently outperforms long-form posts and article formats in terms of organic reach on LinkedIn. The content format that generates the highest engagement on LinkedIn in 2026 is the insight post. A short observation about a common mistake, a counterintuitive finding, or a specific result, written in short, punchy lines with no walls of text. Each line should be short enough to read in under 2 seconds. The post should open with a line that cannot be ignored, a number, a provocative statement, or a question that the target audience immediately relates to. Day 6 is the second outreach wave. Another 15 to 20 connection requests sent to new targets, plus follow-up messages to any first wave connections that have not yet responded. One follow-up after 5 days is appropriate. More than one without a response reduces the likelihood of a positive outcome. Day 7 is for managing responses. The response rate for specific, niche-targeted LinkedIn outreach ranges between 15% and 30%, significantly higher than cold email and orders of magnitude higher than any non-professional social platform. A response is not a sale. It is a conversation. One question that invites the prospect to describe their current challenge keeps the dialogue moving without triggering the resistance a sales pitch creates. The sale happens after trust is established, not before. The first paying client from LinkedIn in 7 days is a realistic outcome for a clearly defined service with a specific target niche and a structured daily execution of the method above. The timeline is not guaranteed. Some niches move faster, some slower, but the sequence is the same regardless of niche. Profile optimized for client attraction, niche defined before outreach begins, personalized connection requests sent in batches, follow-up messages with specific observations, content published to expand organic reach, and conversations managed toward a clear outcome. The profiles that never generate clients share one characteristic. They were built for job applications, not client attraction. The profiles that consistently generate inbound interest share another. They describe a specific problem for a specific type of business with a specific outcome attached. LinkedIn has over 1 billion users. The majority are not using the platform to find clients. That is not a problem. That is the competitive advantage available to anyone who decides to use it differently. Drop a comment with the service or skill being offered. The next video covers how to write a LinkedIn profile headline and about section that attracts inbound messages from potential clients without sending a single outreach message.